Good morning, SwimMAC staff. Sorry I can't be with you, but Coach Terry and I talked about doing a little video to kind of build upon the whole health wheel that got some good energy around it. Coming to you from Michigan, meeting later today with Eastern Michigan team as well as a couple of groups with Club Wolverines. So it's cold up here. And the friend I'm staying with is a hunter, as you can see. There are deer antlers and coyote furs, and oh my word, and staring at a turkey on the wall. Here's what I want to suggest you really think about is go back and visit the health wheel and think about, okay, where's that one leverage point? We can't do everything, right? Where's that one leverage point that I can begin to round out my wheel? What can I increase from a 6 to a 7 or a 5 to a 6? Don't try to go from a 4 to an 8. And literally just come up with what's one thing I can do in, and let's say medical was really low and your wheel is going to get stuck. It can't roll past that. And just what's one thing that you can do? The parallel would be when I'm talking with an athlete or a group, and I bring this up is, okay, what's your 1% improvement? What's the one thing that you can do that will help you get to your next level? Same thing with this health wheel. You probably have 2 or 3 points around that wheel that are too low and cause your wheel to get stuck. You might have one that's you marked as a 9 or a 10, and it's so big that it will stop your wheel on a flat spot. But you might go around your wheel and say, what would it look like if I increased that by 1? It's another way to do it. Just pick 2 or 3 or go on all of them. If you do have one of those high points of 9 or 10 on one that would get it stuck, just ask yourself the question, why is it that high? What emphasis do I put on that? And where is that possibly not helpful? Might be perfectly fine, but it might not be. Here's the next step of this. It's what I'd like to talk with you about in February. And yet, if we want to stick with the wheel, great. Let's keep doing that. But a way to build off the wheel is something I call the 3 things. What I've found is that in leading and leading yourself and leading a group, being the most effective senior leader, being the most effective team member, what are the 3 things that only you can do in your role? 3 things. If you don't do them, nobody else is going to pick them up. Now, I had a coach the other day, a couple weeks ago, when I was sharing this with a group of coaches, said, well, one of my things, cleaning the toilets. and I'm going deeper with him a bit now to say, well, that's probably not one of the 3 things, but maybe we need to connect that to, for instance, teaching discipline to the athletes at a college. So how do you do that? 3 things. What are the 3 things that only you can do? And if you don't do them, nobody else will pick them up. I want you to think a little higher than cleaning the toilets. I want you to think about, for instance, with Terry and Russ, maybe, is One of those things is staff development, passing things along, helping keep the staff growing. Um, can't delegate that. If one of them probably doesn't do it, nobody else is probably going to pick it up. Um, it might be that relationships are one of those three things for you. Just giving you ideas. Uh, if you don't build relationships with your athletes, with your parents, who else is going to? Well, probably nobody. Um, there are probably three things that are really key. Could you probably list 8? Yes. This project is boiling it down to 3. What are the 3 things? Now, we can take it a step further and say 3 things at work. What are the 3 things at home? What are the 3 things just personally for myself and to myself? But let's think first of all at work, at SwimMAC. What are the 3 things that if you don't do them, nobody else is going to pick them up? This will help that wheel to roll as we connect those two. This 3 things project isn't something you're going to come up with today. I've worked on this. I worked on this for years, and now I've applied it for decades. And in my role as a pastor of a church, I had it nailed down pretty well. Now I'm in this whole new thing, and I'm actually trying to figure this out for me. What are the 3 things that only I can do and I need to do? So this again is something I'd love to talk one-on-one. I'm available. Let's dive into it and figure it out. And I can give you a whole lot more when I'm there in February. But you've got my number, you've got my email. Text me, email me if you want to talk just individually about this, or frankly anything else. Where can I add value to you? Good luck in this kind of last stretch of short course season, and I look forward to seeing you again in February.